Hello. Do you ever have bad painting days? Because I'm having one now. This is the second time I've tried to make this demo. I'm going to do a lake scene again. This is from near Diss on the Suffolk Norfolk border. I took this some years ago. As you can see, it's a spring scene. It was probably round about April, May when we were on holiday there. But you can't paint every leaf and put in every branch, so I've got to simplify this. I'll create a bank coming across here just to hold the picture up. It'll frame it from the bottom. As you can see, there are some distant trees. Norfolk is quite a flat area, but not entirely flat. And there's some middle distance there. Then you've got this wodge here. So I'm going to attempt to do this. Simplification is the most difficult thing to do. You can copy other people's work where they've done the simplification for you, and that's how we all learn. But sooner or later, you've got to take that step of faith and have a go for yourself and work from your own material, or even other people's photographs. They don't own the view. They might own copyright of the picture, the photograph, but they don't own the view. So here we go. This lake was on a private estate, which was open to the public, and it was very lovely. There's a lot of deer in these woods. I can't remember the name of it now. It was a long time ago. But I've always kept the photograph, and I've never painted it in watercolour. I've got a small one in one of my rooms in oil. But with oil you can work at it over and over until you get it right. Right, it's a bright day, so I'm going to clean my brush and put in some raw sienna to give a nice overall impression of there being some nice sunny weather, and a bit of ultramarine on the top. I'm not going to put any dark clouds in here, I just want the ultramarine. So I'm going to use the space around the blue as the cloud. Let's look in some more up there. Horizon I'm going to put below halfway. I don't want to break the painting up into two distinct halves where one competes with the other. I'll let that dry off a little bit. It's a bit wet at the moment. Just let it soak in. As it soaks in, the paper expands, and we can reclip it and keep it lovely and flat. That's the great advantage of painting wet in wet, is you can do that. As you can see, look, it's buckling now. And we've got plenty of time when the paper's like this. It's when it starts to dry off, when the shine goes off the paper, you can have your accidents, like the horrible cauliflowers. Let's put it tight and reclip it. This side. A little bit, oops, on that one there. So there's the photograph up there. Maybe I'll put it down below now. Doesn't matter if the water's not likely to run down anymore. You can't see that. Well, it's the best I can do. Right, now I can put the distant hill in using the sky colours, the raw sienna and the blue on the blue side. And underneath it there are some stronger trees, so we'll just put that in there like that. But I'm going to go all the way across because it's going to be covered up. And the hill's coming down there into that area. a few touches. Now, there were some lights underneath that hill, at the tops of the hill, probably showing some grassy area, so I'll put it in. Just touch it so it all blends together. Okay. Right. Now I need to put in some harder trees there. So using the corner of the hake, I'm going to mix up some burnt umber, ultramarine, a bit of raw sienna. And when you put wet paint on wet paints, you need the new stuff to be thicker than the old stuff. Then it will register rather than bleed in to the surrounding areas. So we'll put those there. And they don't come very far over. The brush is split, so dip it into the water, just a tip. Bring it together again. Oh, so it hasn't worked. Oh yes. So I've just had that one coming up there. Right, okay, that'll do. There's a tree coming up this side here, but I'll take it over a bit further. There's a bit of lemon yellow in there, just to vary the mix. Okay, that's fine. Look, see how it's nice and reflecting there while the paper's wet, so I might as well just carry that on. Bring that in down there. Okay, seems alright. Clean the brush. Now, I really want this to be dry now. So I'm going to dry it all off on this side. Here we go. I'm going to put this all this tree stuff here. Now I'm going to do it so that we start off bluey green, raw sienna, lemon yellow, bit of Payne's grey just to darken the mix. Right, so this bank here is coming across there, starting about there. So we're just using the corner of the brush, we'll just start dragging it down into where the bank is going to go. It's going to come across here. And then as we come nearer, we can warm it up a little bit. Leaving some unpainted areas. Just to show the bank there. Right, okay. This is getting darker. A bit more Payne's grey, lemon yellow. and darker still, and coming into the shadow area. Right. Right, get some dark in there now. Ultramarine, Payne's grey. The sun was coming in from up here, so I'll show some shadow side of the trees. Right, I notice that we can flick into this. Let's try it. This is where you've got to be careful. If you hold the brush, you end up with in your hand when you're painting, or when you're flicking, you forget and you go into the water. But I can put a twig, some grass in there. Right, so we'll just put in some trunks coming up here. Okay. Getting more indistinct, so I'll change to ultramarine and burnt umber. Some branches coming up in front, some just vanishing behind leaves. I've changed the position of my camera. I've got it coming in on a piece of picture framing attached to an easel in a very precarious manner. But I noticed that in some of the videos my head gets in the way. I know you all like to see my face, but there are limits. Okay, that'll do. Now I'm going to strengthen up this area here, because the floor of this bit of wood here is quite dark and in shadow, but I don't want to cover it all up, so I'm going to put various mixes in there. Shadow colour, good shadow colour is ultramarine and light red. Show something going up here. Shrubs, things. Keep my bristles together. Show something coming up there. Right, okay. Right, okay, now that's a lot better than what I did the last attempt. I was ashamed of it. And I'm going to give a demonstration tomorrow, and it will work. I'm in better form tomorrow, otherwise I want their money back. Right, now I'm going to put I'm going to show this bank here with the shrubby trees on it now. So I'll use burnt umber, ultramarine, warmer colours. Right, okay. I'll exaggerate this a little bit. The darks in there. The shadow, just a touch. That's the bank now coming down here. Leave some unpainted. Bit of light in there. Right, now burnt umber, ultramarine. Let's pick up some grasses while I think about it. I'll use a card and my nails a bit. can always, it's a good trick, while the paint's wet you can use the corner of the card to paint with. Right, I'm showing reflections here. Right, so I'm going to put some just some shrubs in this area here. Brush is split again. Yeah, when it splits, just dip the tips in your water, and then that will bring the tips together again, the bristles together. Just use the brush and let it do its own thing without actually overdoing it. Right, there's quite a lot of warmish browns in there, so I'm going to just dry brush in there and just use palette warm colours. Warm colours are the browns and the reds, and just filling in now. Just vary the mix. Okay, how's that doing? Strengthening up with a few more twigs, using the burnt unburned ultramarine. You notice I'm just touching with bits of the brush. I'm not drawing with the brush. I don't think you get a nice line when you draw. It's too solid. This is hitting and missing, which is the effect we're after. A bit harder one in there. Right, okay, before I mess it up okay, we'll put in some more stuff here, I think. So I can justify putting a twig of something in there to cover up that blemish. Dark colour there. Strengthen that up a little bit. Bit of raw sienna just to warm it up. Just going to see if I can strengthen this bit here now. Now that's dried off underneath. Right, just touch some dark in there, just to anchor, or show some shadow reflecting through. Strike some grasses in there. Right, so I've just dry brush some stuff on there. Just shows something going on, not a lot. Right, I'm going to dry that off and put the reflections in now. And now that's dry, using a clean brush and just run the water across all the paper there, and while that's wet drop in your colour. Get a bit darker in there. Got those greens back. Alright, okay. That's not too bad. Right, with a fairly dry brush, knock up some trunk colour and just with the hake or your rigger, if you want to use the rigger. There are no rules in this. You do what works for you. I'm only showing you one way, and tomorrow I might do a different way. More or less where they are. Okay, that's it. Right, give me a brush. Give it a dry. With a brush with all the water, a clean brush with all the water squeezed out of it, I'm going to, but I only do this on dry paper, I'm just going to try to see if I can loosen up some paint across here. Yeah, that'll do. Just to show a ruffle on the water. Right, now with a rigger, I've finally got round to using, I'll stick a signature on it, and we'll compare it to what I've done, what I copied it from. Couple of birds. Right, okay, so I will show you this picture. That's what I've done. That's as it was. I've ruthlessly simplified it. Colours here are not really accurate, but maybe you can experiment using the Payne's grey with the two yellows, the raw sienna and the lemon yellow, to get the mix that you want. When I say simplify, you don't have to simplify the colours. You should try to aim for some sort of accuracy, which I've managed to miss quite spectacularly. A bit lost here, but I'll put it in a mount to show you what it would look like if it was ever framed. Shan't be a second or two. Doesn't look too bad. Always looks better in a mount. There. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.